Well, this week, the Empire strikes back. You may have heard that the Ontario Crown has decided to appeal the decision by Justice Perkins McVeigh when she stayed and squashed the 9 criminal charges against me for attending the truckers' convoy in Ottawa. And the new Darth Vader this week is none other than Etienne Lacombe. He was a law clerk with famous Justice Rollo and Richard Wagner, that Supreme Court justice who swallowed COVID whole without even digesting it. But yes, young Etienne Lacombe has been convinced and has decided that the criminal charges, those trumped up, frivolous criminal charges for me moving a gate on Parliament Hill, should not be stayed. And we'll be back in court again, this time at the Court of Appeals, for arguing whether or not over 3 years of prosecution or persecution by the Ontario Crown should continue. So now, for many people may not realize that I've been pretty successful fighting this legal machine and this legal monster, political monster as well. I've gone 29 wins and 0 losses so far, with 5 charges still outstanding. 25 provincial charges, 20 of them have withdrawn or stayed, and these 9 criminal charges that were stayed. And but here I received this letter from Etienne Lacombe this week. And here it is. The Crown will appeal to the Court of Appeal, Justice Perkins McVeigh's decision. They just couldn't abide by me winning yet again. And instead of seeking justice, our courts, our Crown, have decided that they should continue with the abusive process and the punishment, and to try to ruin me financially if they can't get a conviction against me. But that wasn't all. This evil legal machine and empire also had the brazen audacity this week to serve me these papers, not by the regular process servers, who usually cost about $50 or $75 to deliver some paperwork from the courts, but they had the 2 investigating officers from the Ottawa Police drive all the way out here to my home and deliver this paperwork to me. The lead investigator is this fella, Acting Sergeant AkivaGeller. Now, he thought it would be really nice if he could try to intimidate me by hand delivering this. But he also made a big mistake. He's a material witness in this case. He is the lead investigator. He is not to have contact with me unless he reads me my rights and ensures that I have the option to have legal counsel present with any interactions. He also knows that this was a thinly disguised pretext to come and gather information about me, potentially gather information with me, without getting a judicial warrant. The police are not just allowed to come to your house willy-nilly, especially if they're investigating unless they have a judicial warrant. But this brazen little fella decided he would circumvent or try to circumvent both those obligations of due process of the law. Remember that fella, Acting Sergeant Detective Geller, and of course his accomplice, as well as counsel Etienne Lacombe. So I told Acting Sergeant AkivaGeller to get off my porch and get off my property immediately. Of course, he gave up all the regular nonsense that he was a cop and he was allowed anywhere he wants. He got the message very quickly that he cannot come on my property. And shortly after having him leave my property, I gave him a notice and a direction of trespass while he was on my front porch. And shortly afterwards, I then sent the notice and the direction of trespass to the Ottawa Police and the local OPP detachment commander, as well as the Attorney General's office. And here's what I wrote in providing this direction of trespass. If you can read that, it's addressed to all the proper people, the OPP, the Ottawa Police, the Attorney Generals, and it was also copied to a number of other people. And I outline in this notice of trespass how AkivaGeller was subverting due process of the law and also attempting to intimidate me. It'll be a cold day you know where when some little fella like AkivaGeller, no matter how much brass he's wearing, will intimidate me at my house. So that's what has been happening this week. And, I think it's important for people to realize, and by the way, I have received a letter back from the Ottawa Police Professional Standards Department, and they are now investigating AkivaGeller and his accomplice for breaching these due processes of law, for not reading me my rights, and for using the pretext of delivering a court paper to come to my house without a warrant. So we'll wait and see what happens on that end as well. But I think it's also important for people to realize, many people think that this is a Trudeau initiative or that it's the Liberals behind this. Let's not forget Etienne Lacombe is employed and hired and serves at the direction of the Conservative government in Ontario, Doug Ford, and his Attorney General, Doug Downey. He may be a Liberal underneath, but he's taking orders from the blue team on this one. And although all the judges are appointed by the red team, the crowns are appointed by the blue team. And people need to realize this legal machine, it has red parts, it has blue parts, it has orange and green parts to it. But all those parts, regardless of their color, they all work seamlessly together to, not in your interest or my interest or the public's interest, they work together to serve themselves. That's how this legal machine and monster actually works. So anyway, I also want to let you know that I am taking a little bit of a pause for Christmas on my podcast, Canada, A User's Guide and Owner's Manual, but you can keep up to date and follow what I'm up to on this journey to the appeals court next by following me on Substack. It's randyhillier.substack.com, as well as on my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram accounts. So until next time, keep up to date. This legal machine and I are going to be battling it out for a little while longer yet. But have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again soon. Canada, A User's Guide and Owner's Manual. Many people want to fix this broken down machine called government. So join with me every week as we create an owner's manual to help people understand what these parts are, how they're supposed to fit together, and how to troubleshoot, maintain, and fix this broken down machine.